So Briahna Joy Gray, who of course was National Press Secretary for Bernie Sanders and is now freelance.
Causing a little bit of a storm.
It's fun to watch her go hard. I mean, she's such a sharp intellect.
Yeah.
And she got in a little bit of a back and forth with Joy Reid about the causes behind why Bernie Sanders ultimately wasn't able to be successful. Joy was making fun of the idea that the Sanders campaign was too nice. Briahna pointing out very factually that all of these issues, including credible sexual assault allegation, pattern of unwanted touching, Burisma and other corruption issues, lying about his civil rights record, none of this stuff was really brought up during the primary, and that's on the Sanders campaign.
Right.
It's on really Bernie himself, though, at the end of the day, because we've had the reporting that there were, and we've heard this ourselves, too, from people within the campaign, there was pressure on him to be more aggressive against Joe Biden. He just didn't want to do it.
And he just wouldn't do it. And that's, one of the things I was just looking at here is that Briahna and others in the Sanders campaign had talked to Politico, who said that they were disappointed and they believe that the Bernie campaign should have gone for the jugular while they were up against Joe Biden. And that's just something that you can clearly see. Now you see David Sirota and Briahna out there on Twitter just really prosecuting the case against Biden, and they're getting mercilessly criticized. I mean, you see Frank Luntz, he's a Republican pollster. He said Briahna Joy Gray is why Bernie Sanders lost the Democratic Party.
I mean, have you ever seen a stupider thing? That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Briahna was nothing but an asset to the Sanders campaign. And was she, as any of us, perfect? No.
Right.
But the idea that anyone out there in the country was voting on what Briahna Joy Gray said on Twitter is absolutely insane. It's the dumbest analysis I've ever seen.
It again goes back to the idea that Bernie lost because he was too divisive. And as we've said here, it might be because he wasn't divisive enough in order to win. And it just demonstrates that he was never able to prosecute a case against Biden to the core constituency of older African-American and white voters in the South and particularly in the Midwest. He was just not able to do that.
Right.
And the only way that you do that is by going after electability. And he said, Joe is my friend. I like Joe. Joe could beat Trump. He gave those people permission to vote for Joe and not feel bad about it. What you have to do is not give people permission to vote for Joe. You need to give people not only a reason to vote for you, but a reason not to vote for the other guy.
Yeah.
It's called competition. And this is something that Obama understood so well in 2008. I was watching this morning a clip from 2008 of Obama calling Hillary Clinton basically an out of touch. She'll do whatever they want. She'll say anything and do nothing. Workers with NAFTA. It was incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. He went straight for the jugular.
Well, and they've never reckoned with the fact, they think that the fact that Bernie Sanders lost, there was even a New York Times piece to this effect, was because so many people in the Democratic electorate hated him. They wanted to vote against Bernie. It was an anti-Bernie vote. It's just ridiculous.
Right.
Bernie Sanders consistently had the highest favorability rating of any of these candidates among the Democratic primary electorate. There was just a question about whether he was the person to defeat Donald Trump. Understandably so, since the media relentlessly told them that Bernie Sanders would lose to Donald Trump. So they have decided that his defeat means that they were right. He's too mean. Nobody likes him, as Hillary Clinton put it. He's too divisive. He's too angry. They've just reinforced their own idea of the caricature, which is so funny because this is literally exactly what we predicted they would say last week. The day after Bernie Sanders dropped out, we said the media is going to say that he was wrong on the issues and he was too mean and angry and divisive, when actually the exact opposite is true. The issues were popular. They were overwhelmingly majority support. Medicare for All is now a majority support position with the general public at large, not just within Democratic primary voters. On the issues, voters said they preferred Bernie Sanders. That is not why he lost. And he also did not lose because he was too mean. In fact, he was way too nice, which they're starting to find out right now as the Trump campaign starts to spin up real ads against Joe Biden that show his many obvious glaring vulnerabilities, which are not just about issue positions and who's right on the issues, but fundamentally go to the central issue for Democratic voters this cycle, electability.
These are the weakest people. The Biden campaign is so weak the way that they come up with their rebuttal on the Trump ad, which I covered in my radar today, saying, oh, a single frame of it shows that the whole thing is racist. Any talk about Hunter Biden is ridiculous. I mean, they said that about you. I remember whenever we were talking about Hunter during the height of Briahna, they said, all you're doing is helping the Trump campaign. And as you accurately said, this is an issue, whether you like it or not. You can litigate it now, or you can wait until November. Well, here we are. It's only April. It's already out there. Hunter is in the very first ad that the Trump campaign puts out there. You think we're not going to talk more about Briahna and China and Romania and so many of these other things? It's never, ever just going to be put into a bottle. Same thing with the Clinton Foundation. Remember, they tried so hard to brush these things under the rug. And look, I do think the Bernie campaign, and not Bernie campaign, because his campaign generally had decent instincts. Bernie himself was a weak person whenever it came to this. He had far too much affection for Biden, never understood or believed in the existential rhetoric that he espoused in terms of his actions, and ultimately this is his doing. And I really do wonder what some of the lessons for some of these people are, because I still continue to see people like Briahna, a few others on the fringe, but many people are saying that they're probably going to vote for Biden, or they're saying like, oh, maybe we should tamp this down. I'm seeing a lot of this bubble up for every one person that says that, oh, this is we should have been harder. There are 9 others saying, well, we lost. There's
a lot of pressure for anyone who's in media to basically, be a propagandist for the Democratic Party. And if you don't consistently fulfill that role, if you're willing to point out any of the problems with the Democratic Party establishment, with the Biden campaign, et cetera, then, they're just outraged. But it's not my job to be, I'm not here to be a propaganda arm for any party, person, place, or thing. That is not what I'm here for. It's not supposed to be what anyone in the media is there for.
It's just the norm for all of them.
But it tells you everything that is, in fact, actually the expectation. And the people who deviate from that expectation are the ones who are excoriated and, like Briahna told, like, you are the reason that Bernie Sanders' campaign lost. And I've heard other people like, you'll never get a job in this town. She wants a job in this town doing that kind of like flacking and propaganda work. They also can't wrap their head around people who actually have principles. Like Briahna has principles. She was on the Sanders campaign because she believed in what it stood for, not because she's a hired gun like Simone Sanders, who's with Bernie last time, with Joe this time. I mean, could you think of 2 more different candidates? Most of this town is basically like hired guns. They go where the money is. They go with the power groups that seem to be ascendant.
Yeah, they don't care about it.
They don't care. But Briahna is not like that, and they can't wrap their head around that. So they think that she's outrageous for saying some of these things because she'll never work in this town again. She's not looking to get a job with you people. She doesn't want to work for you people.
She doesn't need that job. She doesn't want that job. And those people who are attacking her are like comms professionals. Please don't do this.
Yeah,
because your comms
please don't have principles.
Works out so well because you all go work for McDonald's Corporation and Uber. Congrats.
Amazon. Way to go, guys.
So there you go.
Well, we were looking forward to. We got to get Briahna back on the show soon. We're working on that so we can have her here.
I'm excited to talk.
Congratulate her on just how hard she's going and how many great points she's making. All right, tomorrow on Rising, what do we have, Saagar?
We have GOP's national spokesperson Liz Harrington. She's going to discuss the RNC's 2020 strategy, maybe the Trump campaign's new fundraising haul. Interesting. And DC Bureau Chief of The Intercept, Ryan Graham's always got good, interesting stuff for us, so he's going to join us for our discussion. That's right. And thank you guys so much for helping us. We reached 400,000 subscribers. Blown away by that. Please subscribe now if you haven't so you don't miss any of our content. And of course, like and share and subscribe. Also submit your hashtag Rising Cues and hashtag Rising Stories. We will see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, we appreciate you all so much. Have a great day.